No lo puedes ver, es eléctrico. Lo tienes que sentir, es eléctrico.
Yeehaw! Hillbilly Rick here with Ronnie Beard. How y'all doing?
Hi.
You know how I met this guy, Ronnie Beard? I ended up turning the world around with him. One day I was at home in my campground in a studio upstairs, and the phone rang, and it was Ronnie Beard. Do you remember that?
I do.
Yeah, and he called me and he says, I understand that your dancers are playing $1 Million Cowboy and everything, and how good it was doing. And I said, yeah, it was a great song. But Ronnie was so much caring about music and dancers that when I explained to him that I needed to kind of rephrase it for the dancers to dance to, he said, let me come up there. He found out I was not very far away, and he came up, became best friends. We've been all over Europe and America, Canada, everywhere together, and we produced a lot of music together. So today, we're going to talk to you about something that happened in 1976. A guy by the name of Rick, R-I-C, Rick Silvers, created a thing called The Electric. For Vamp's Club, a disco club in New York, he created a special dance called The Electric to teach at the club. It was, however, a 44 count dance, but part of it morphed and came out into being the 18 count electric slide that everybody does in the world today. And as Ronnie and I traveled, I said, you know, in 1991, I said to myself, I was doing the electric slide, something didn't feel right, and I said, someday I'm going to fix that song, and Ronnie agreed to help me fix that song. So tell me about how we did it.
You can tell more about the dance.
Well, the dance is an 18 count dance. You wind to the right, wind to the left, go back 3, 4, up, touch, back, touch, turn, touch. It's 18 counts. So
but the original
song
dance was
44 counts.
That's the key. So he came and said, listen to this. And I listened, and then I watched the dance, and then I locked myself in a room for about 4 days and put together the song to match the dance of 18 counts. And that was hard to do, to make believable the way the song's structured. So what took so long was making it believable, meaning the verses, the chorus, the instrumentals, because not everybody, I don't think is there an 18 count?
I don't know of any other 18 count
Okay.
dance.
So that was the hurdle. So after 4 days, and I'm not going to lie to you, I've been through a lot. I almost stopped because it was pretty frustrating, but kept with it, worked at it, and then he'd come in and play it, and we worked through it. And then we took it down, built the drum tracks, and got with the musicians.
Well, and one of the things that he did was he created 2 4-beat. Music normally is a 4-beat measure. We created 2 4-beat measures and then a 10-beat measure, so that always on the first beat of the steps of the dance, it would always be on the kick drum, like boom, you know.
And that's what was not feeling good to Rick when he danced the dance.
And so Ronnie created this beautiful drum track, and then I threw in another thing on him. I said, you know, Ronnie, we've got a lot of Spanish people in the world, so I'd like to also be able to sing somewhat in Spanish. So my sister lives in Madrid, Spain, and she translated the Electric Boogie into Spanish for us. And then we had to find a singer who could sing English and Spanish, so we went on Craigslist, and then what happened?
Well, we interviewed several people, we looked for the right situation, and we were having trouble. So we went down to Nashville, and we found Rachel Rodriquez, and we went to hear her sing in one of the clubs. We're not going to say which one, and we approached her, gave her the information, the project, and we were off and running. But to back up a little bit further, we had actually got with the musicians to chart and phrase this out, and normally you're not thinking in the thought of like we were doing. Yeah. So that was a hurdle. We got through it.
I know you can.
I have never in my life ever written a 2-page chart.
Well, I wasn't going to, but I wrote it straight down.
Not ever.
And this just Guys,
I read a 7-page chart one time.
hey,
Rachel came in. She sang. We had her do the Spanglish. I actually, the demo, because it was so odd at first, I actually got to sing the demo to help the musicians get through the demo session we were doing for the master track. We got that through that, then we went back and overdubbed the vocals, and then we did the Spanish. And then we decided we liked part of the English, and we liked part of the Spanish.
We created Spanglish.
Aquí, ahí, en todas partes.
Pretty close.
Aquí, ahí, en todas partes.
There you go.
Yeah, like that.
Aquí, ahí, en todas partes.
That's where the title Electric Boogie Spanglish came about.
And we had a lot of fun doing this, and we had to keep going back down and working on the song. But you know, in one of the special sound bites in Marcia Griffith, who had done the song originally with Bunny Wailer and Bob Marley, was a sound bite that says, "She sure got the boogie," and we couldn't find it anywhere. So finally Ronnie comes up with this idea, let's get up at 4 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday, load up studio equipment, put it in, let's go to a motel room on the north side of Nashville, set up our own studio, and we're going to go find somebody to give us that sound bite.
So we set most of this stuff up in a hotel room, and we normally cut in a pretty big studio, but we just needed to get the sound bite. We set this up. Rick said, what are we going to do? So I called, I can't tell you all the people I called, but some pretty big names. No one knew. I said, we just need someone to sing. She sure got the boogie. So we were driving down Broadway.
No. First we went to restaurants that day. We found Jamaican restaurants downtown.
We started going to all the Jamaican restaurants.
Everybody could say she sure got the boogie, and we ordered our food.
We didn't have any luck.
All day long.
But I still had faith. And so we were going down Lower Broad. We pulled up on the hill. There was a church. And we pulled over, and we were just calling some more people. And go ahead.
I said, Ronnie, what are we going to do now? And Ronnie says, God's going to walk up to us in a few minutes. And about this time, God did walk up to us, and a young man named Tim Heidelberg, who sold newspapers. And he said, would you like to buy a newspaper?
Rick bought the newspaper, and he started walking away. You know, we were focusing on trying to find somebody. Rick gave him the money. The guy walked away, and I looked at Rick and I said, God's walking away. And he's like, what do you mean? I said, that's who we're supposed to. So we called him back to the car.
I called him back.
And we played the little sample in the car, and he nailed it right there in the parking lot. Then we said, trust us. I know this sounds crazy, but would you mind...
In 2 minutes time.
Would you mind getting... And this is the documentary you're going to see. We're going to fade. Here we are in Nashville. I'm with Hillbilly Rick. Say hi, Rick.
Hi.
This is Tim Heidelberg.
Hey.
Ronnie Beard. And we're sitting here, and we were looking for someone that we can use to overdub for our song that we're working on. And it's kind of a secret, but it's going to be out, so we're going to tell you now. We're remaking Electric Boogie. And we needed someone to do the overdub of She Sure Likes the Boogie. Tim?
Yeah.
Tim is going to sing She Sure Got the Boogie. We're getting ready to go to the portable studio that's set up, and we're going to go ahead and put it on record. And then we're going to take Tim out to eat and give him some money. Tim came up and asked us for some money, and he's going to help us out. God bless you, Tim. Can you say hi?
Hey.
All right.
Yeehaw.
Here we are, Tim, Hillbilly Rick, and myself. We're headed into our room. We got
To the studio.
We got the studio set up.
We're going to get She Sure Got the Boogie, and it's electric.
I brought some of my hard drive. You got the key to the room, Rick?
This is my billfold. It's in here somewhere. That little white envelope. You got yours.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, we're trying to find the key. There you go.
She sure got the boogie.
All right.
So what do you think? You surprised this stuff's in here?
Yeah,
Are you
man.
surprised? You didn't think it did, did you?
Yeah, I did. I always give people the benefit of the doubt, man. You know. She sure got the boogie. When it comes to music, I always follow my you know, my instinct.
So here's what I want you to do. I'm going to play that loop over and over,
Okay.
and I want you to rehearse and sing along with it
Okay.
and do the best you can, and I'm going to record you while you're doing it.
All right.
And don't worry if you can't get it the first or second time, we can run it over and over.
She likes the boogie. She sure 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 likes the boogie.
Okay, now what I'd like you to do is go,
She sure likes the boogie. She sure likes the boogie.
Keep doing it.
She sure likes the boogie.
it's recording, so go ahead.
She sure likes the boogie. She sure likes the boogie. I did a little fast, yeah.
Keep doing it, that's good.
She sure likes the boogie.
Bring it down a little key.
She sure likes the boogie.
One more time.
She sure likes the boogie.
Okay. Take a break.
Okay. Was that good?
That's excellent.
She sure likes the boogie.
Now I'm going to pause.
She sure likes the boogie. It's electric. She sure likes the boogie.
There you go, brother.
It's electric.
Keep going.
She sure likes the boogie. It's electric. She sure likes the boogie. It's electric. It's electric. She sure likes the boogie.
All right, now all three of us come up here, Rick.
Okay.
We're going to do electric together. You ready? On the count of three. 1, 2, 3.
It's electric.
Let's do it again. 1, 2.
It's electric. It's electric.
And it was a blessing from God, Tim. Thank you for showing up that day. And the rest is history.
Well, then we got the sample in there, and then the mix still wasn't quite right. So on my birthday, on March 26th of 2016, we got back with Flip and Elliot to help us remix it a little bit, and they gave us a new mix. So then we came home, and we still weren't happy with it. So all of a sudden we came out. I was at the Tropicana, and I heard this ticky-tacky rhythm, and I said, Ronnie, we've got to get that in there. It was kind of a reggae beat. So Ronnie I
created what he calls the ticky-tack. I went back in the studio, built that drum track, and then put that drum track with the original drum track, which actually kind of holds the whole thing together all through the song.
Yeah.
Adds a whole new dimension.
Absolutely.
A lot of people ask me, why would you go to all that trouble and all that money and all of that time to re-record a song, pay unbelievable amount of money for licensing, for recording, and so we basically bought the rights, so we have free reign and permission to do what we wanted to do, and went in and recut the whole song on all the tracks, on all the masters, and he's going to explain a little more in depth. He did at the beginning, but why we did this.
You got to understand, I've entertained or taught probably over 1 million people live a dance in close to 45 or 50 countries, and dance is my life. It's not about money. And I always felt that the electric slide was the biggest line dance ever in the world and probably will ever be, and there was not a song to fit the shortened version of the dance, and so I wanted to do it. And so when I would start off on it, because my legs were very sensitive, I had an accident years ago in the 80s, that on one, I'd want to make a big step, like 1, and the kick drum would go boom, 2, 3, 4. And then the next time you got ready to do it, it'd be like da, da, and then boom, as you're stepping out on the third step of the dance. So I said, it just doesn't feel right, Ronnie. We've got to do this for the history of the world. This will be the first dance song that's been created for a dance that's never had a song for the 18 count version, okay? And it'll be the first song that I know of with a 10 beat measure in it. So we created history for our love of the dancers in the world, and we hope you all have a great time doing the electric slide to this song.
And we love it so much. This is New Year's Eve 2016. So here we are, finishing up this documentary. This is the last step of a 4-year project. From the beginning of the phrasing and constructing of the song, to the recording, to the mixing, to the re-recording, to the remixing, and now we're doing the last part of the documentary.
And we've got a couple things along the way. My daughter-in-law in Nashville is a very good artist. So I said, can you create me some anime drawings of the Electric Boogie song? So she's created songs, pictures that I'm going to create an anime video for. And at the same time, we found a video animator that will be doing a cartoon animation of the Electric Boogie. So we got all this coming for you. You got to have a good time doing this. We hope you do it all over the world.
You want to tell them about all the stations and things or not? We can edit that in.
Which stations?
It's going out to the world, basically. This isn't just coming from our mailboxes. The dedication that we've made and the commitment is several meetings that we've had in Nashville with some distributors. This song is going out to
at least 40 countries. The videos will be going out at least 40 countries to all the video services. We're not going to. I will also have an instructional dance video where I teach the electric slide, the shortened version of it, of 18 counts, really simple, and I'll dance it with a few people. But the idea is you'll be able to see it on a lot of in the bars and the clubs around the world. You'll see the animation videos that we produce. And you'll also be able to get the song on iTunes, Amazon, every digital download. Yeah. And we're going to send it to the Spanish radio stations in America, in South America, and Spain.
And Spain, yep.
So if you like it, if you like Spanglish, here you heard it here first. Hillbilly Rick created a new language, Spanglish. And you helped me do it, so.
Peace.
Yeehaw!
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. 2017's coming in a couple hours, and be on the lookout for Ronnie Beard. He's got some new songs coming out, and I've got some new songs coming out, and we're all going to do them together, including some for the Australia's tornadoes. So be ready for it. We're going to have a great year in the dance world.
Good.
That's it?
You got anything else?
Cut? Well, let's see. I'm going to talk to you a minute about Rick Silvers. I met him on the phone and talked quite a bit for the last 3 or 4 years, and heard his story about how he had created the dance as a routine for the Vamp and how hard he's worked. And he actually was the first one, because he went to school on music, he copyrighted his choreography. And so if you go to the Library of Congress, you'll find it's called The Electric, and it's his choreography, and it's actually trademarked and copyrighted. And Rick, I've had a lot of fun with it. He's older than me by at least a couple months, and I always kid him about that on the phone. He lives in Connecticut. He makes movies, too, and he's been in a lot of movies. We are looking for the original. In 1976, he went to a radio station and says, do you have any new songs I can make a dance out of? And they gave him a demo version of Electric Boogie that Marcia Griffith sang on, along with Bunny Wailer and Bob Marley in 1976. Years later, he lost that demo version coming back home from California. We're trying to find that demo version. If somebody can find the original demo version of Electric Boogie by Marcia Griffith with Bob Marley on it in 1976, I'm offering a $1,000 reward. And if you can give me the record, if you can't give me the record, if you can give me the audio track of it at least, I'd be willing to pay $100, because I think as part of history we need to preserve for such a fantastic dance. And let you know, one of the dances that set the Guinness Book of Records was a dance called Baby Likes to Rock It in Japan. Like 11,000 people or so did it. I choreographed Baby Likes to Rock It in the early 1990s, and it became one of the biggest dances in the world. And in China one time they had over 20,000 people do Baby Likes to Rock It. So I've created a lot of dances, had a lot of fun, made stars out of people. When I'd travel in Germany or wherever, I'd have crazy hats and sometimes shorts with bare butts on them to have fun with. So we're still alive and kicking, guys. Watch out. I'm going to come your way. Yeehaw.
So after we finished recording, restructuring, rephrasing the song, got the final project, we went down to Georgetown Masters in Nashville and had the song mastered. And that really put the glitter on it, gave it the bottom end that it needed, and what you're really going to enjoy in the dance clubs throughout America, South America, Germany, Japan, London. Where else is it going?
Everywhere, you know. I've even learned, get this, listen to this, 5, 6, 7, 8, derecha, izquierda, to the left. So be ready for the Spanish Hillbilly Rick's version when I help teach it. So.
And I really feel the need, like I said, this is going to go out worldwide, and this is our opportunity to thank people. Rick's talked about his life in the music and dance, and I want to take a moment and thank all the choreographers around the world. And I'm not going to name them because if I start, it's unbelievable, the list. But you know who you are. I'm very thankful for you using my music, becoming my friend, lifelong friend, and I'm enjoying making music for the dancers around the world.
You know, one other thing, everybody knows me, 2 things. When a song didn't match a dance, I'd fix the song. I've done that for years, and it kind of gets some people upset. But I always did, I made some speed-up versions, like the Macarena, hey Macarena, you know, became my hit. My mix was one of the top hits in the world. In Miami Block Party, they had hundreds of thousands of people that they said had to dance to it multiple times because it kept getting faster and faster. So guess what? On this Electric Boogie, I couldn't resist. The second track on it is a speed-up version. So if you really want to have fun with your dancers, play Electric Boogie speed-up.
That sounds good.
Amen.
All right, goodbye. Happy New Year. God bless everybody, and thanks again.
Thank you, Lord, for allowing us to talk to you in your homes. Yeehaw.
Hola, hola, hola.